everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome the newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey by hitting that subscription button. It's free, and hit the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. I would just like to mention that if the video is a little bit too fast for you, up top there's 3 little buttons. You can click there, slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also, right next to it, there's the CC letters for closed caption. You can turn that on, and you can read all the stitch that I'm calling down here. By pausing the video, take notes, will make it easier for you. Now, normally when I upload the videos, it takes about an hour for YouTube to search all my words that I'm saying, so it can appear on the closed captions. So don't panic if you don't see right away the closed captions, because the video has just been launched. It will show up in about a half an hour to an hour after the upload. I also would like to mention that if you have extra yarn, extra thread, and you'd like to help the women in need, we highly appreciate it and being very, very grateful for it. Thank you for the ones I already have helped and are still helping. If you'd like to donate, right below the video, there's a little bag of $. You can donate whatever amount you'd like. Nobody's asking for millions. Anything helps. It adds up at the end. You can also go into the description box. My PayPal account is there. You can donate through there if you'd like also. Please always give a thumbs up on the video if you like the video. It does help the video to circulate and also to be recognized worldwide. I gratefully appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's one way to help me out and to help to continue to create these beautiful pieces. Also share on your Facebook public. It costs nothing. Everything is free. There's no charge of anything. So please help out to grow the channel. I do have a Facebook group, private group. If you have a profile, you're more than welcome to request to be a member. It's free, of course, and we'll approve you. You must have a profile. Be careful with the links that you go into the groups that says cut and bit. These are fraud scammers that go through your phones, your computers, and take every information of yours. Do not open up those links. There's a lot of hackers in the groups now. That's why I made sure that my group is private. I want to thank every single one of you from the start being with me, and thank you so much for the newcomers. It costs nothing to subscribe, so please do so. Thank you so much, everybody. Everything will be listed always in the description box for every pattern that I create, the sizes, the thread that I use, which is Portugal thread. They're 100% cotton thread, 4-ply, which is similar to Aunt Lydia. Number 3, which number 3 Aunt Lydia is just a little bit thicker than my thread, not by much, but a little bit. I usually use a hook 3 or 3.5, a small one for tucking in loose ends, and a pair of scissors, of course. So thank you, everybody. Any other questions, suggestions, please feel free to comment. You can always get a hold of me if your intentions are to give some thread or yarn away. There's my email below the description box. There's my Facebook page that you can follow also, my Facebook group, my Instagram, my TikTok. So there's so many ways you can message me. Thank you so much, everybody. I hug every single one of you, and much blessings to all of you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, everyone, so we're going to create the ears for the Minnie Mouse. Now, on the tutorial, you will see there's pink. I had created pink, and I think in a way it's better for you to see the stitch. I mean, not that it's complicated, but still I think you can see it better than the black. So I had created pink, and then I decided once it was done, no, I took it all down and went just with the black, which pink was just perfect for the tutorial. But anyway, so you will see it in pink, and then the last row, because this has 4 rows, the last row I had created black. So I've taken all down and went with just black. Another thing is on the centerpiece, on the pink one, I had created 16 double crochets. On this one, I created only 12. Okay, I went a little bit smaller, but if you want to go bigger, you can create more double crochets, 16, 18, 20. It's up to you. I did on the tutorial 16, which it became huge. And on this one I did 12 double crochets only. So if you want to create this size, then you can go ahead and do only 12. This has 22, I believe, centimeters. Yes, 22 centimeters, which is perfect because once I put it on top of the pattern, I noticed it was just perfect enough. Okay, so please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video, share the video. It's very important. I also would like to mention that pay attention on the tutorial of the years. I leave 5 space out. Okay, so I do my double crochets as you will see, and then I don't do my last 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need this to be sewed on to the pattern for the years. Okay, thank you everyone. This is very easy to do the magic circle, so I got to give it enough length because it's a very thick thread and we need all the space that we can get inside of the circle, or you do a 8 to 10 chain. Okay, so I'm going up chain 2 because it's so thick. Normally I do chain 3. Inside of this magic circle I'm going to do 16 double crochets total with the chain 2 that I went up. And I'm so used to working with thinner thread that with this thick one it's like, oh my goodness, but it makes a beautiful rug. Okay, so 16 double crochets. So I've done my 16. I'm going to come on my second chain here, and I know it's hard because I have a very tight stitch, so even to get this through on my first one is just hard. So we're going to close it in with a slip stitch, and I'm going to pull this thread a bit, and we need to close this center as much as we can. And then at the end we'll put a needle through and go in because the hook is too big to go in through that tight space. So we're going to go up 1 and 2 chain, and I'm saying 2. Normally I do 3, but because this is very thick I'm doing only a 2 in the same space. We're going to do another double crochet, so we're going to have to do 2 double crochets per space, and we should have a total of 32 double crochet if I can get my hook through it, because my stitch is so tight that the first rows are always very hard for me, no matter which pattern I am doing, and I'm sure you probably go through the same thing. So 2 per space, and of course it's much easier when I have crocheting it with up my chest and not with my arms stretch out for filming, right? So it makes it a little bit more hard for me, but only on this first second row, I should say, of any pattern. Okay, so 2 per space. We're going to have a total of 32. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I've come to the first one where I did the 2 chains. I've closed in with a slip stitch. I'm going to go up again, chain 2. This is my 3rd row. I'm only doing 4 rows, and then the last row is single crochets. Okay, so 2 together again on the same space. Next space I'm going to do 1 alone, and the next space also 1 alone. So 1 alone, next space, 2 together. And this makes beautiful doilies also. If you're using Aunt Lydia number 3 or number 10, just a centerpiece once we get to it. By the way, the centerpiece will be created the same way. So these ears are the same way as the centerpiece to start off the rug. So one alone, two together. We're going to do this all the way around. Must have been close to some other threads when it, guess, was shipped or something to the company. Okay, two together, one alone, two together, one alone, two together, one alone, and we're going to proceed that way all the way around. Then we're going to close with the slip stitch on the last one. Okay, you guys, so I've closed in with a slip stitch. I'm just going to pull my thread right through, and I've cut my thread already. And I'm just going to grab a needle, and I'm going to sew the rest of the stitch in. So that's why I've cut it a little bit more longer, just to get my thread through. So I'm just going to come back and forth into this. And then after, I'll hot gun glue it at the end. Then I'm going to turn around, and I'll be doing the same thing with that one too. And I'm just going to just pull it in through here, through some of the loops back here, like that. Just pull it through. And then cut the excess off, and whatever excess you have left, try to see if I can just pull at least one more through here. Now, because there's so many threads and it becomes very thick, it's kind of a little bit hard. That's why you have to use a needle to sew it on. But the more you put through the loops, the safer it is, because it, you know, the thread is very thick thread. So I think I should be okay now. Okay, and then cut the excess off, and then I'm going to glue afterwards this little edge right into the pattern like that. And then you would do the same thing with the middle one here. If you're doing the magic circle, you would just put it in through the loops. Okay, you guys, I pretty much sewed into my loops, so now we're all safe and secure. I'm going to come in with the black now. So now I'm going to do my fourth row with the black. And I know black is hard to see, but this is very easy to do because it's the same procedure as this one. Two together, but I'm using back loops only. If you want to use front loops, that's fine. Go ahead. I'm going to use back loop only. I'm going to do a single and one chain. I'm coming back in the same space, and I'm doing another double crochet. Now we're going to have two alone and two together. Next space, one double crochet alone. Gotta make sure I grabbed all my thread here. Next space, one alone again. And then the following space, two together. I'm trying to hide my thread at the same time as much as I can. Okay, so back loops only, two together, two alone. 2 together, 2 alone, 1 per space. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I'm pretty much at the end, and if I count from here, I have 1, not counting, of course, our single or 2 chain, right? Our single 2 chain. So 1 space, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on my 6th. Okay, so in reality, we have 5 free ones. I should maybe explain myself better, right? So I'm on my 6th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out. Okay, now I'm going to leave a bit of string. Doesn't take much, but we need a bit to sew. So I'm just going to cut like that much. We need to sew it onto the pattern. Okay, so there's 4 rows altogether, and we leave 5 of them of spaces out. We don't do to stitch it on. Okay, so it's the same thing. I just had to recreate all over again. Same stitch as the pink one. Okay, everyone. So I was editing my video and noticed that the beginning of the bow tie video recording is gone as usual. Time to time, these apps seems to be eating the videos that we create. Thank God I was just, on the moment of editing the recordings together in order to upload the video and to throw it out there to YouTube. So the first part is missing, and thank God I saw that, because I was running through the videos to see if everything was okay and all together, and noticed that the beginning of, which is very simple, the bow tie, right? But the beginning is missing. So on this bow tie, I'm going to give you the size. This is a big one because my rug is big, but if you're making like a doily or a smaller rug, with thinner thread or yarn, you don't need a size this big. This is very thick thread, so it's very big. I'm looking for my measuring tape. Good God. Just had it here. I don't know. Oh, here it is. So this is 32 centimeters. It's very big. So if you want to go smaller, you're just going to cut down on the chain. So normally what you do is you're supposed to put your ears together to get the right measurement. So obviously this part will be sewed into the pattern, right? And this is gonna go like on here like that. I know it's kind of hard to see now, but okay, so this is gonna go like that. So what you do is you want to measure maybe put this straight like that. Maybe you want to measure how big you want to go in the pattern if you want your bow tie to stake out more. Maybe it's best if I do it this way. If you want your bow tie to stake out more or to stake out in, you can measure it and then take it from there and see what's best for you. I still don't know how many. I guess I'll get to that when I'm on the tutorial for the centerpiece. So I'm just going to demonstrate it. So this one I have 24 chain stitch. But since this is a demonstration, you could go 20, you can go 18, depending on the size you would like the length of the bow tie. I think 24 is too big, so you best probably go with 20. Okay. My God, that's a big difference using the other one to this one. So slip stitch knot, and let's say you're going to do 20 chain stitch. So this is very simple. I have 6 rows on there. It's only double crochet, 1 per space, and you're just going to work back and forth on it. So let's say I'm just doing a demonstration here. So you're going to do your 20 double crochet, and then you're going to come 1, 2, 3 on your 4th space. You're going to come down, and you're going to do 1 double crochet per space. So nothing to it. This is just a demonstration I'm doing here because I don't know what happened to that recording time to time. These apps, it seems like they eat up the recordings and throw it away, and there's no way of finding it. It's unbelievable. And then it's not very pleasant for us when we have no clue what happened to it. We're uploading the videos and that type and that little recording is gone until somebody makes a comment and says, where's row 8 and row 9 and so on. And we're like, I have no clue. I have to go back to the video and see what's row 8 or row 9. Anyway, so you do your 20 or your 18 or your 16, depending on the length you'd like your bow tie. Then you turn around. You go up again, chain 2 or 3 for some of yous, and then 1 per space again. And then you just do double crochet. Now, if you want to make it sticking out like a 3D, then you would grab back loops only, and that will, make it more 3D looking, by grabbing the back loops. Gives that nice little effect up front. I didn't do it on this one, but I have created these rugs already, and I have done it on other rugs, and it's very nice. I think I was just too lazy to do on this one because the thread is so thick, and I'm just like really tired of that thread. It's taking a lot of my patience and strength out of my fingers and arms. So you'd come all the way to the last one, and then again you turn around, and again chain 2 or 3, and then again you'd go in and do your double crochets until you have 6 rows. Okay, once you have the 6 rows, you cut your thread and proceed again with the rest of the video. Okay, so very simple as that. It's just one square that we're making, exactly like we have here. This is just one square, and I did single with all the way around with the black just to make it stand. Everything else is there on the video except for this part, the beginning. Okay, you guys, so I've done 6 rows of the double crochet for the bow, because then with the black one we're gonna tie it here on the center like that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do single crochets all the way around to close up that bow tie. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. You could leave it as is, but I want to close it up a little bit more. So basically, just grab anywhere. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to grab a specific corner. So I'm coming in with the black. Obviously, I did a slip stitch knot, and I'm going to do singles all the way around. So where I have the double crochet, I'm going to do the single. If I need to do 2 singles per double crochet, then I will. If I need to do only 1, then I will. You see how it plays out for you guys if you need to do 2 or 1 double crochet. Try to hide my leftover thread that I had there. So I'm going to try to say 2 singles. If I find it's too much, then I'll do only 1. I don't want to leave big gaps on it either. So, okay, and I'm going to do this all the way around. And if you find that maybe you can do 1 in between, let's say 1 double crochet in the center. Let's try this way so it doesn't be too much of a tight. So 1 double crochet where 1 single where the double crochet is, and 1 where it connects the rows with the double crochet. I'm going to try to see if I can do it this way, or even, yeah, whatever way looks best, right? We always try to find a way. So yeah, I'm going to do 1 inside of the double crochet and 1 in between the rows. I think we're okay this way. Just like that. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Just want to tell you, when you get to the corner, do one inside, and then you can do actually 2 or 3 if you have to, just to get the corner properly in. So I'm going to do 2 to be sure that this corner will look firm. Do I have the right? No, I don't. Good heavens, no wonder why I'm having a hard time. I had the wrong hook. I had size 6 hook, not good. Okay, and then just turn your pattern and then come where you have your double crochets. Right in the center of the double crochet. I didn't want to come in between because I don't want to leave it a gap, a space, a hole where the double crochets are. Okay, so I'm coming right in between the double crochets. All right, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I pretty much finished doing all the way around singles. I'm also doing the little squares, not squares, round circles here with singles. So my big one, I have 8 singles on a 6 chain, and my small one, I have 6 singles on a small. So very simple. I'm gonna, instead of doing a chain on the small one, I do a magic circle. Okay, the other one, the big ones, I did a chain. So I'm just going to do a small one of 6 singles. I mean, we all know how to do singles, right? And then I'm just going to tuck in the loose ends in between the stitches, and then it will be glued onto the bow tie. Okay, and then I'll show you how we're gonna finish off the bow tie by tying in the center. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this off. I'm going to close it with slip stitch, pull my thread, tuck in the loose ends, and ready to be glued. Okay, you guys, so before we even decide to glue them, we have to tuck them, well, tie them together. So you just, because this is thick thread, remembering that, so it's a little bit harder to. But this is a rug, so it's not a doily. It's supposed to be hard. And then just go around with your thread a few times, because you want to make sure that maybe I should have pulled more. Got to pull more into here to make sure. Whoops, knocking everything down, ain't I? Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, and you got to give it enough tightness on it to make sure that it's going to, you know, and before you close off anything, you want to make sure that you have it properly, the design the way you want to, so you can have it nice. And I don't want to be off camera, but and you got to give it a nice tie there, so it can look like a nice little bow tie, right? So just tie it, go around a few times, then we'll tie it in the back, you know, and then we'll tuck in between, give it a little bit of glue in between, and we're good to go. So I'm just going to bring this thread back here. Okay, so I think I'm good. So I'm going to tie mine in the back. Give it a nice tie in the back here. I'm going to cut my thread to make sure that I'm going to give it got to make sure that it's pretty much center. Before you close off completely, just make sure that you have your design exactly where you want it to be, because then this will be glued into the pattern, and then it will be too late if you don't have it all fixed up, right? So I'm going to give it a few knots before I crisscross it over two in between here. Now that's extremely tight. I'm going to crisscross it here. I'm going to give it another tightness, and then it's going to be glued, so it's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to tuck this underneath here, because then I can cut the excess off, right? And there you go. And then I'll cut the excess off and glue the rest right in. Then it's just perfect. Now my glue should be hot because I had opened it up. So now, trying to get you guys here. So I'm going to put my bigger one up top here, and I'm going to compress. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a whole lot, but because this is thicker thread, you gotta put enough. It's a rug, right? It's not a delicate doily. I'll blow on it a little bit, just so everything can stick in place, right? So I'm going to have to stop for this video here, and then the rug itself will be a complete different video, because then it's too much all in one video, and I can't do that. So now here's the opportunity for you to put your transparent glue in the areas that you think needs I put too much here. Needs the glue at the edges where you've cut your thread off and things like that. Now we should be okay. And then you go ahead and do the other one. So I'll put the other one like here. We don't want it to be all lined up, right? So I'll just put a bit here, like that. And then do the same thing on the other side. So this pretty much does it for this video. Stay tuned for the rug so we can complete the ears and the bow tie together. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much, everybody. Until next time. Bye-bye.